Alright, so what's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now, the Modern Warfare 3 beta has officially come to a close, and I'm just going to say right off the bat, I've enjoyed this beta. I think it's definitely an improvement on Modern Warfare 2, and I honestly think we're in for a good year of Call of Duty. I mean, it honestly just depends on how well Sledgehammer handles the post-launch, but I think in the launch phase of the game, we're still going to have a good time. The main thing I'm waiting on is how the camos work. If we have the same camo progression as Modern Warfare 2, I think the launch phase is definitely going to be a dub, but anything after that, anything goes. I mean, we saw how Modern Warfare 2 went. So today, I'm going to give my feedback on the beta of Modern Warfare 3. I'm going to give my overall review and my thoughts and opinions on this game, and especially because we're in sort of a weird position with this game, because this is the first game which is sort of like a true successor to a game, in the sense that it's basically the same, but updated, upgraded sort of sense. So I want to give my whole thoughts and opinions on that, but I'm going to do that after the feedback on the beta. Just before we do that, I just want to thank you guys on the support on the channel lately. We just recently crossed 1.3k subscribers, so thank you very much for that. The videos have been doing very well on Modern Warfare 3. I plan to carry on doing that, and I've got a few more things planned. So obviously I'm going to make some more Mortal Kombat 1 videos. I want to get back on that, and I'm thinking about making a Spider-Man 2 series as well. So if you're looking forward to Spider-Man 2, leave a comment down below. I'm thinking about doing a full playthrough on that. But with that out of the way, we're just going to hop right into what I liked about the beta. So the first thing that I liked about Modern Warfare 3, it's everything that they did different to Modern Warfare 2. So the whole thing with Modern Warfare 3 is that the marketing and the strategy with this game is that it's basically Modern Warfare 2 but better. It's not Modern Warfare 2. So all of the things that Modern Warfare 2 did wrong that we gave feedback on and Infinity Ward wouldn't change, this is everything that comes under this category. So, for example, we have things like red dots on the minimap, you know, with the unsuppressed weapons. We have the ninja perk, no perk packages, map voting, all of that stuff, all the things that you can think of that is in Modern Warfare 2 and is different in Modern Warfare 3. Basically all the things that, you know, leading up to where we are now with Modern Warfare 3, it's what they've been marketing. This comes under this bracket. Another improvement I liked in this game is that they got rid of staged reloading, so there's no sort of like, you know, no reload cancel bullshit in this game. It's just reload cancelling. It is what it is. But what they did is quite clever. They kept staged reloads in for an empty mag. So if you don't have an empty mag, if you've got some ammo in your magazine left, you can still reload cancel like you could in the older games. But if you're on an empty mag, you do have that staged reload. So if you stop reloading mid-reload to, I don't know, swap a weapon or something, you can basically pick up where you left off of, which is really good. This is how it should have been. The UI in the main lobby looks so much cleaner than Modern Warfare 2. This is a big one for me because the UI in Modern Warfare 2 is the single worst UI in any game I've ever played, and this is definitely an improvement on it. It's more of a return to formula, and I don't know if they're gonna, with the whole like campaign multiplayer zombies thing, obviously this is just a multiplayer UI, with the whole like game and then the game within the game, because this is still in Modern Warfare 2. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but it already looks a lot better than Modern Warfare 2's UI. Gunplay Modern Warfare 3 feels good. Now I'm gonna give a bit of feedback on this later, because I don't think it's amazing or perfect, but I think the gunplay is good. We'll leave it at that for now. I think the maps in this game, well, at least the ones that we played, look really good. Like, the graphics generally look really good, like the lighting, all that stuff. Once again, more on this later, because I do have a comment on the graphics of this game. But other than that, they have been really faithful with the remakes in this game. They look pretty much identical. Some of them have some like slight thematic changes. Like, I know, for example, Terminal doesn't look identical to the original, but it's one of those things where like it's slightly different, but you can still tell it's Terminal. So overall, I'm really happy with how they look in this game, and you know, the way they feel, it looks really good. And the final thing I have a comment on is the new Creator class option. So obviously they've changed perks to gear this year, so we've got gloves, boot, and gear. And I like this new change because it has more of a how do I put it, like a thematic effect, I suppose. Like, instead of it just being perk 1, perk 2, perk 3, for example, like the covert sneakers, that's how you get, you know, silent footsteps. It's the same with like climbing boots and, you know, the ones that help you slide quicker. Like, they have a sort of like real purpose within the perk, and the same with the gear as well. Like, you can have a ghillie suit or EOD padding. Like, it just feels a lot cooler. Like, it feels like you're suiting up your soldier, if that makes sense, which Kind of sounds cringe now it's leaving my mouth, but it sounded cool anyway. Also, like the vest they've added in this game as well, where like it's sort of like a perk 4, I would say. I don't think it's like you know, a mega perk or anything like that or whatever. It just feels like a perk 4, but they've just put it in a different slot, and I really like this. I think this is what they were trying to go for in Modern Warfare 2 with the whole like 4 perk system, but obviously they fucked up the perks in that game. All right, now we're gonna get onto the bad, because some of the bad in this game is pretty fucking bad. So the first thing is the spawns. Now, if you guys have watched any of my videos on Modern Warfare 3 over the beta, you know the spawns are probably my biggest critique with this game, and one of the only ones that really holds this game back. They are horrific. Like, they're genuinely some of the worst spawn logic I've ever seen in my life. And this is a big one for me, because I don't see why spawn logic is so bad. I mean, I'd understand if they were new maps, but these are maps that we've had now for over a decade, and we've had them in previous games. Like, why do the spawns not work like they used to? Like, I'm not a game dev. I'm not claiming to be. I'm not saying I know a lot about it, but I just want to know why. The graphics in this game are pretty good, but the colors seem really, like, dull. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I felt like Modern Warfare 2019 was pretty dull and washed out, but then in Modern Warfare 2, they sort of brightened it up. They made it more vibrant. And in Modern Warfare 3, they've remade all these maps and they made them look beautiful. And with color correction, they do look really good. But for some reason in the game, when you're actually playing it, it seems like it is really washed out. Like, I think it's just a simple job of, you know, putting up the color saturation or whatever, but I just think they need to make it more colorful, to be honest. A couple here which I'm going to speedrun, because these are complaints that I've had for a long time, these two. There's not enough info on the scoreboard. For example, I can't just bring up the scoreboard mid-game and look at my deaths. Why? I want to know if I'm going negative or not. It's a simple fucking request. And the other one is a kill streak counter. Now, in Modern Warfare 2019, you had a little pop-up at the bottom of your screen, say you're on your 5th kill of your life, or 6th kill, and you could basically track, okay, I'm this many kills away from this kill streak, or if you're going for a nuke, because let's say, you know, 30 kills, oh, I'm on my 24th kill, I'm 6 kills away, instead of just being like, oh, I've lost count, I don't know how many kills I got, oh, I'm getting nervous now. Like, I don't know, it helps with nerves, it's whatever. I just want to know how many kills I'm on. Like, you know, why bring in the feature and then just remove it? I don't understand why they did this in Modern Warfare 2, yeah, alone this game. And the next one is to do with movement. I probably should have put this in the good section, but I like what they did with the movement in this game. But one complaint I have is the slide cancel sprint delay. If you guys don't know, when you actually cancel the slide, there's a tiny little delay where you can't really sprint, or you can't tack sprint or slide or whatever it is, but there is some kind of delay after you slide cancel, sorry. And I'd just like to see that removed or brought down. Like, I don't get why we can't just be free in how we move. Like, I don't know why there's these little restrictions and stuff. Circling back to the gunplay of this game, now, the main complaint I have is most of the weapons feel very Vanguard-y. And what I mean by that is they don't really have any recoil. They don't really have any visual recoil. They're just sort of, like, they're just laser beams, most of the guns, and they feel really, like, light as well. I feel like in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2019, if you have an LMG or a sniper, they feel heavy. Like, the ADS speed might be quick on a sniper, but it still feels like a sniper. Like, it has a really good feeling to it. But in this game, especially with, like, LMGs and, like, you know, heavier assault rifles or lighter SMGs, it doesn't really feel like there's a big discrepant there. It just feels like they're all just sort of guns, if that makes sense. They don't really feel like they're in the individual classes. Like, an SMG doesn't handle much better than an AR, and an AR doesn't handle much better than an LMG. Like, they just feel, like I say, very Vanguard-y, and some people might like that, but I sort of like that essence of realism. Like, I'm not saying that I want the guns to be slow and bulky, but I just want a bit of a realistic feel. That's what I really like about Modern Warfare games, is they have a much more realistic feel to them. And the final one, which we've been talking about for years now, and which probably won't change, but I'm still going to throw it in there: skill-based matchmaking and disbanding lobbies. Now, disbanding lobbies is something they almost went back on with Modern Warfare 2. They said they decreased the likelihood of it, and I will admit, there have been a couple times in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 where the lobbies haven't disbanded, and it has been pretty good. But why half-arse it? Why can't we just go back to the original? And that's because of the skill-based matchmaking. I don't get why the skill-based matchmaking is so hard in these games. Like, it's actually ridiculous. Like, you will do you'll do have an amazing game, one game. Like, you'll go like 40 and 10, And then the next game, everyone's fucking optic and phase, and you just can't have fun anymore until, you know, a few games down the line, then you can do well again. Like, this performance optimized matchmaking bullshit, just, it needs to go, man. Like, we need some kind of skill-based matchmaking to protect people who are newer at the game. But at the same time, this shouldn't be so punishing for people like me who have been playing this game for over 10 plus years. Like, I understand you want new people to come and play a game. That's completely fine. But at the same time, that's why in games like Black Ops 2, we had basically a new playlist where for the first like 30 levels of your career, you could just play against newer people who would only be able to play up to level 30. But I know it's not going to go away, so I'm just going to mention I don't really like it and move on. Now, the final section I want to cover here is bugs/balance. Now, this is obviously just bugs in the game or like general balance of, say, weapons or kill streaks or what have you. The first thing is the kill feed in this game. It's all Modern Warfare 2 weapons like the M4, the Signal 50, the MP5, the M13B. I don't know what else to say. Like, it's just very obvious this is a Modern Warfare 2 DLC because the Modern Warfare 3 guns aren't even in the kill feed. The Modern Warfare 2 guns are. The Striker and the ACR are head and shoulders above everything in this game. The ACR I feel like isn't as bad as the Striker because although, yeah, you can use that all round, I feel like it's better at, like, long range. Like, it's not the longer range weapon. But the Striker is just ridiculous. Like, that genuinely ruined the beta for me because every single motherfucker who was sweating their ass off in this game was running around with the Striker. And you were trying to use other guns, like, oh, I'll use this gun or this gun and try to have fun with this gun. And you just get shit on because everyone's using the Striker. Like, it just makes for such a ruined experience that isn't enjoyable to me. And the final thing is to do with the loading animation with this game. I found a few visual bugs. The first one was on Favela when you get off the car, you start running through cars. This guy would just literally clip through the wall and just run outside the map. Like, I know it's not a huge issue, but it's still a bug. And the other one as well was with the elevator scene on High Rise, where the guy would toss you a gun and you'd be like, yeah, breach and clear, breach and clear. And then you would pull out a second gun while your first gun that got thrown to you is still floating in the air. So you just have this like double gun effect where it looks like you're pissed up and you've got like you're seeing two guns, but then it just disappears. Then you got your gun. Like, it's so weird. But anyway, there's all my feedback for the Modern Warfare 3 beta. Overall, I think this game is solid. I think it's a very good improvement from what Modern Warfare 2 had, and I like the remastered maps from Modern Warfare 2, the original. However, I think these maps are going to get old very quickly because they're all we've got. I mean, yeah, it's all well and good having these maps remade, but 16 maps is a lot as well, but I just feel like it's going to get old very quickly. And I just think as well, this game doesn't really add something to the franchise. Like, it doesn't really feel like its own, like, standalone title in the Call of Duty franchise. It genuinely feels like a DLC to Modern Warfare 3, and I don't know what it is. Like, I just feel like with the launch of a COD game, like, it feels like it should be more of an event, I guess, but this year it just feels like it's a year 2 Modern Warfare 2. Like I say, I just don't think Modern Warfare 3 is its standalone title the way the Modern Warfare 2019 was. It had its own maps, guns, identity, feel. Same with Modern Warfare 2, but Modern Warfare 3, the maps are rehashed, the game is rehashed. The only thing that's new, really, in my opinion, are the guns. And even guns like the ACR and the UMP45, they're returning guns, or guns that we've seen in the Modern Warfare franchise before, like this newer sub-series of Modern Warfare games. So I just don't really feel like it adds a lot to the franchise. I think it's just what Modern Warfare 2 should have been. I feel like it would have been better if they called this, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare SkyOps or something. Like, I don't think this should be Modern Warfare 3. It should have been called something that's like a subsection of the Modern Warfare series, the same way as Black Ops Cold War. But that's going to do it for me talking. Overall, I'm going to give this game a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a very solid game, but like I say, it doesn't really offer anything new, and until it does with the post-launch, I can't really give it more than a 7.5, but it's a solid game. I think I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm hoping the camera grind is good as well. So, thank you guys very much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.